I never thought I would see the day where Benjamin Matlock went up against Candyman, but it happened in this episode of Mattalk, and I cannot wait to talk to my buddy John about it. So, John, what I've started doing, something I used to do back in the day, I haven't really done it so much anymore, but I'm doing it more and more as I'm getting more involved in the editing process. And I've started listening to our podcasts. And I got to say, Mattalk is a damn good show. We are delightful.
We are slightly a bit biased. And, real quickly, I want to say I'm a little bit distracted. As I told Jason off air, I'm kind of babysitting my girlfriend's cat. So if a gray cat named Flint shanghais the broadcast, well, he's a cute boy anyway, so you'll like him. But, yeah, baby talking. I do. Hey, I'm talking about you.
Yeah, puts him in a stroller and walks him up and down the road with a bottle. It's very cute. I just could not believe it when I saw it when I was driving through your area, John.
Okay, I'm not that extreme, but so you're gonna have a dog join us. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic, folks.
I thought the cat's bonnet was really cute, John. It was a very nice touch. Fantastic. It is, just good stuff. So you went to the movies today with Justin and didn't invite me.
Our producer, Justin. Oh, wait a minute. Time out. How is it that we get blamed for this? We ended up making these plans when you were unavailable.
How do you know?
Because it was the night that we had that interview that somehow got moved back or postponed or screwed up somehow.
The classic, I forgot which time zone. But it happens. It really does happen with guests, especially in California. Things can get jumbled, especially when they have busy schedules. But no, seriously, how was it?
Well, Justin and I decided to take in Furiosa, the Mad Max saga. And first of all, I will say this. I'm a huge Mad Max fan. I really do enjoy the franchise. I thought that this movie was good. Is it very much like every Mad Max movie? Yes. But if you go into Mad Max and you go, wow, there better not be a car race with big, giant, weird vehicles, then what are you doing? If you don't want to see that, don't see this movie. That's what you're going to see. I mean, that's what you're going for, man. That's the coolness of it,
That's how I felt when people were complaining about the Winnie the Pooh horror movie. Like, we watched it and it wasn't what I expected it to be. It's like, what did you expect this movie to be? Like, it's not Casablanca. It's a dude in a Winnie the Pooh mask that is slashing people. Like, it's exactly what it told you it was. But I'm glad that Furiosa is good because I really liked Fury Road. Fury Road was the first Mad Max movie I saw. I'm just kind of sad Charlize Theron is not back, but I really like Anya Taylor-Joy. So I am super stoked to see her take over the role. It's a prequel too, right? I believe they said Thunderdome and Fury Road.
It's a prequel. It is. I'll say this with the plot. I really thought that they did something unique with it that I was surprised that they did, and I liked it. It works. I think my only negative that I'd have to say is, and I don't want to give too much away, but there were some things with the portrayal of Furiosa done by Miss Taylor-Joy that I was like, okay, that's what we're going with. Okay. We'll just say that the acting, there we go. I think I could say that, right, Jason, without ruining it, just saying that the acting was suspect at times.
Anya Taylor-Joy is a delight. She always gives a stellar performance, John, and how dare you? I'm going to do Mattalk solo tonight, folks. Today on Matlock, it was a fantastic episode 5 of season 5, the Narc. No, I am a big fan of Anya Taylor-Joy. I can kind of see where you get that from her and stuff, but so far, everything she's been in, I've really dug.
Everything I've seen her in so far, I've not enjoyed with her. Now, everybody says The Queen's Gambit was fantastic. I have not seen that show. And from what I've seen of her other work, I'm not really that jazzed up to see it. So
Queen's Gambit was really good, and The Menu was really good.
Oh, The Menu. Okay. That's the one with the chef that makes the weird entrees. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Well,
a critique on that kind of dining and stuff. It's really good. You'll
well,
hate it, but it was pretty good.
I won't hate it. You gotta cut me some slack. I have peculiar tastes. We'll just leave it at that.
That's fair,
But
man. We all do.
Mad Max, I did enjoy it. I did like it. So I definitely give it a thumbs up. But there was some movies that I was unaware were even coming out. Like we saw previews, lots of previews, by the way. Jeez, I don't know if I can speak for Justin, but I was like, we have another, like they'd get done one. You're like, okay, we've had 5. Oh, wait, we're going to have 6. Oh, wait, we're going to have 9 now. Wait, we're going to have 11.
It's about 30 to 40 minutes of previews now when you go to the movies, easily.
Yeah, good God.
I'm somebody who likes the previews because my philosophy on previews is, and I know we have YouTube, but sometimes stuff slips by. Like I didn't know The Strangers was coming out with a new movie right now. That slipped by. Saw it in the theaters. I can't wait to see it. But I've heard The Crow looks pretty good. My girlfriend's super excited to see it. I told her that she gets to meet the guy who created The Crow at Monroe this year. So she thinks she's kind of excited about that. But I like the previews because when you go to the theater and you leave and the movie stinks, the previews give you something to look forward to.
Yeah, I didn't know that they were redoing The Crow. I didn't know that there was an Aliens movie coming out. I was totally unaware of that.
Eddie Alvarez is doing Alien. Yes, please.
What was the other the new Kevin Costner Western that I thought was like a Yellowstone movie, but Justin says it's not. It's like its own independent thing, but
it's a 2-parter because Kevin Costner's movies, they aren't long enough already. That he's got to make 2 films to cover this story. If you go back to Kevin Costner, any one of his movies, they're like 3+ hours long. Now he's got 2 3+ hour movies coming out to theaters within months of each other, that 1 and 2. And yeah, dude, Kevin Costner, you need to go back to doing TV because that really fits your wheelhouse for storytelling.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's basically all I've been watching. I did finally finish Better Call Saul. I know our listeners are they're probably saying in their head, I'm sorry, I got bogged down in season 5 and 6, but finally finished it. Really liked it. I thought it ended strong. It had a good redemption storyline that I liked, and it had a lot of surprises in that 6th season. So I give it a thumbs up as well. I really dug it. So
Elsbeth aired its final episode. I am, like you guys have heard me talk about it, I'm 1,000% on the show. I love the throwback. I'm kind of bummed that Matlock, the Matlock that's not a reboot, is taking over the spot of a show called what's it called? So Help Me Todd, which is another show I liked. The thing that's so annoying about CBS is So Help Me Todd, for example, it had ratings were higher than any other network show. Like if you look at ABC, NBC, and Fox, it was beating all their ratings. But since it's on CBS, the ratings were high enough, so it's getting replaced with Matlock. It kind of bums me out. But Elsbeth is a really good show, everybody. You guys should check it out, especially if you're fans of Columbo. It's very in that lane, and I can't say enough good things. Finish The Cleaning Lady. I like that show. That lady she's just makes horrible decisions in her life. I'm watching all of the Law Orders. They're all ended the way that they should end. And yeah, now I'm out of TV shows weekly to watch, so now it's time to catch up on all my binge shows.
I'm taking a break till The Boys drop, and then that's what I'll jump on. I don't think I'm watching. I'm going to try to catch up on movies because like I haven't seen Aquaman 2 or Blue Beetle, and I need to sit down and watch those two. Yeah, that's what I hear. Blue Beetle's good. I've heard mixed reviews about Aquaman 2, but I'll make my own mind up for that one because I liked the original one. I thought it was pretty good.
I didn't like the original at all. I have the second one. I'm going to watch the second one. I hope it's better, but I have 0 expectations, so I might enjoy it. But Blue Beetle, I really liked.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard very good things about it. So, and, there's plenty of other things coming out in the theaters. So I think I'm going to stick to movies for the time being and not start another TV show until The Boys start, which I think starts in 2 weeks, if I remember correctly.
I should watch The Boys. Maybe that'll be one of my next binge shows.
It's really good. It's really good. All right. With that, are you ready, Jason, to discuss this episode of Matlock?
Well, I know the people are trying to wonder how Candyman factors into this episode of Matlock.
All right, then let's go ahead and get into our opening statement. All right, the episode is entitled The Narc, and the original air date was October 23rd of 1990. We have a couple of guest stars, and you know what, folks? We're going to go with the heavy hitters right out of the gates. All right, we're not going to work up to them. You've heard my partner talk about it. One of our guest stars is, of course, Mr. Tony Todd. He will be playing the role of Billy Pierce. You may know him as the Candyman in the Candyman horror franchise, but he's also played Captain Darrow in The Rock, Grange in the original Crow. He's done a ton of voiceovers as Darkseid in many different DC animated projects. He was also the voice of Zoom on the CW's Flash. Scareglow, he was the voice of that character for Masters of the Universe Revelation. He was Luther in Scream, the TV series. He was CIA Director Graham on Chuck. He was Gus Rogan on Young and the Restless. I didn't know he was even on a soap opera. But he's got over 300 or 200 or some number that's astronomical of credits to his name. Jason, I know you're excited because you're a big fan of the Candyman.
I wouldn't say a big. I like the new Candyman a lot. The old Candymans are fine, but I like him in the Final Destination series. But this dude, I have not really seen him in anything that he hasn't creeped me out. So this is like the first time I got to like watch him not creep me out, and it was pretty pleasant experience. I gotta say, yeah. He's a good actor, like a really good actor. He's not just a creepy guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, our other main event guest star, if you will, Titus Welliver, I believe is how it's pronounced. He will be playing the role of Johnny Bauer, but you may know him as Harry Bosch in Bosch and Bosch Legacy. You may also know him as Felix Blake on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Dominic Barone on Suits, Bates in the movie Argo, Glenn Childs on The Good Wife, James O'Phelan on Sons of Anarchy, Man in Black on Lost, and over 100 other credits. As soon as I saw him on IMDb, I was like, where have I seen this guy before? And then when I read Bosch, I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah, but I will say this. He's incredibly young on this episode of Matlock.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize him. Like, I forgot he was in it. I sent you the text of the IMDb, and then I completely forgot it was between now and then because I can't remember which character he played, but Matlock was such an early role for him. It was his fourth role, but Lost, as you guys know, is my favorite television show of the time. He was on, I loved him on The Good Wife. He was in quite a bit of that, and I need to watch Bosch because I really like this guy when he shows up to things. He's such a fun actor to watch. He does so many very different things, and he also, he was Lex Luthor in Titans. He did a really good job as Lex Luthor. Yeah, man, I love this guy. I mean, can't say much more.
Can I be honest? I'm much like you also was like, oh, I know him. And from IMDb, I'd read and researched him. And then, when I started watching the episode, I'm like, which one is he? Because he doesn't look anything like he does now. Like he kind of looked for a moment. I'm like, is that Richard Grieco? Because I thought he looked a little bit like him when he was younger. And then I was like, oh, no, wait. They said Johnny Bauer. That's Titus. I was like, whoa, man. So, yeah, he definitely a great actor. And now let's move on to some folks that have, of course, some other credits, but maybe not as well known as those two. Let's talk about David Beecroft. He will be playing the role of Charlie Orbach. You may know him as Nick Agretti on Falcon Crest, Sergeant McKay on Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, Jack Thorpe on Hearts Are Wild, Annie's Lover in Creepshow 2, Reverend Freeman / Josh Walensky on All My Children, and about 30 or 40 more roles on his resume. So anything stand out with Mr. Beecroft for you, Jason?
No, not really. It's funny because I'm looking at his IMDb page, and it's a lot of like bit roles on TV shows, except for on Dr. Quinn. He was on that quite a bit. But he was in Murder, She Wrote. Sadly, no Perry Mason.
And our last guest star is a gentleman by the name of Robert Clohessy. He will be playing the role of Harlan Fondy. And you may know him as Sid Gormley on Blue Buds. Deputy Warren Hamlet in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Alderman Jim Neri on Boardwalk Empire. Officer Sean Murphy on Oz. Gil on the Guiding Light, and over 100 other credits. Anything for Robert that you want to talk about real quick?
I don't want to say it's a guilty pleasure because I feel bad about it, but I freaking love Turtles Out of the Shadow. And yeah, this guy's been around. He's been in a lot of stuff. Boardwalk Empire, if you guys have not seen it, do yourselves a favor. It's fantastic. Steve Buscemi is easily one of the most underrated actors ever. Like, he is really good in that show.
Yeah, and don't forget, Michael K. Williams as well on that show is Chalky White. I've never seen it. I need to see Boardwalk Empire, but yeah, I've not seen it. I need to, though. All right, then, Jason, it's time for me to ask you a question. And that question is, can you give me an opinion, your opinion, and solely your opinion, so help you?
I do, John.
Then it's time to testify. All right, let's get on into the plot, Jason, if you will.
You did forget one guest star. Bad Decisions by Cops is also a guest star.
Yes, there are lots of bad decisions being made. Isn't Bad Decisions like isn't that a pop song from a couple of years ago? Bad Decisions?
It's handled way better than the Judge episode, I will say that. But there are decisions in this episode that are done by the cops before and after the crime, like the big crime is committed that we're trying to solve. And it's like, you guys are cops. Like, you guys should handle this better. Like, you've arrested people for doing this same thing. Like, you should know how to just get away with it better. That's all I'm saying. Like, crime is wrong. I completely get it. But if you're going to do it and you're a cop, you kind of should know, like, how to do it.
Yeah. Oh, Benny Blanco, BTS and Snoop Dogg, Bad Decisions. That's the song I was thinking about. Thank you, Justin, for that note. That was it. So, the plot. I'm going to try to paraphrase. Every plot synopsis that I read for this episode was very convoluted. So I'm just going to try to keep it on the straight and narrow. Ben gets wrapped up in a case featuring crooked cops, drug dealers, and a client that might be innocent. The opening scene is a drug deal. Now, before we get real far along here, I've always wanted to know this, and I don't know anybody that's ever been a narcotics officer, but it happens all the time in TV and movies. Why does it have to happen where there is the one guy that has to take the knife and put it in the brick of coke and then taste it? Like, tasting cocaine, doesn't that get you high?
Well, it does, but it's an easy way to tell, I think. I don't know. Like I said, I've only seen it on TV. I'm not obviously a cop in real life, so I don't know if it was done in real life. But that's a good question. I should reach out to some of my cop buddies and ask, like, if that's a real thing that people do to test it. I mean, you don't. How else are you going to test it? You don't snort it.
Yeah, but wait. I'm just saying, like, okay, you're just a drug dealer, man. You're clean as a whistle. You know, you're like Nino Brown in New Jack City. You don't mess with the stuff, right? So then you take a hit of it. Aren't you now addicted?
John, I've never done cocaine before, so I don't know like the difference between licking it and snorting it. But that's a good question, guys. And if you get the answer, let us know. benmattalk@gmail.com. Just curious, email us. Thank you.
We have opened up a Pandora's box now for our email. Oh my gosh, we're gonna get flooded with amazingly awesome / disturbing tales about the one time I snorted cocaine and I can blah blah blah. Justin says we may have to change the title to Drug Talk of our podcast, but anyways, this is the other thought that went through my mind. This episode is ripe for a team up with Crockett and Tubbs, Miami Vice.
It is. You know what, John? I don't know if you had to do this, but I actually stopped the episode to make sure I was watching the right show because Matlock has never started like this before.
No, you're right. It has not.
I'm like, did I accidentally turn on Law and Order? Like, I had to check.
Well, basically, what you're referring to, Jason, is that, you know, this drug deal actually becomes an undercover sting. And one of the dealers tries to escape, and the cops gets him outside. And I love the Dirty Harry like phrase that the cop tells the one bad guy: "You move, you bleed." Sounds like something Sylvester Stallone would say in like Cobra or something like that, you know?
My girlfriend says she's a nurse. She says that it's absorbed in any mucous membrane.
So
I
is
guess
your mouth not a mucous membrane? I don't.
that it is. So yeah, I guess it would be the same.
Okay. All right.
That's
Okay.
how I read that. So guys,
All right.
you don't have to email us anymore, but still email us. I want to hear from you.
No, email us about anything you want. I mean, as long as it's not going to get us in trouble with the authorities. I mean,
Yeah. Pudding. I like talking about pudding.
yeah, well, he told me I'm the sexiest man on this podcast. So I mean, if I'm that sexy, I don't think I can go to jail. I don't think it'd turn out well for me. Anyways,
Well, I did have an ex-wife say, you know that John guy you guys have been hanging out with a lot lately? He's really cute. And I'm like, I mean, he is. He's the face.
I've never been more honored in my life. Thank you so very much. Anyways, let's get back on track here. So then we see a cop, which turns out to be Ed. He's telling higher ups about the fact that there's this like sting operations, every sting operation, I should say, excuse me, only half the money and half the drugs get taken to evidence. All right. And it's all part of this like investigation by the authorities in the police department to rat out the dirty cops. So the dirty cops, they show up, and after they see this report on the news about the corruption investigation, and the dirty cops, they kind of give a hard time to Ed about, hey man, where you been? You after the last takedown, you disappeared for a while. And so basically, we kind of find out that Ed's kind of got second guesses for doing all this stuff. So we cut to a scene where the dirty cops meet at a bar to weigh their options. And they also, yep, there you go. No, what was that?
I did not mean to push that. I'm uploading a different photo for a future conversation.
Okay. Anyways, I was going to say, what are we doing here? So anyways, they divide up their money as well. And Johnny Mauer, he decides that he's going to talk to Ed. All right. Make sure that Ed understands that he can't rat on everybody because everybody involved in this, the stakes are high for them. So we see a shot of an exterior of a house, followed by a couple of gunshots, and Ed is laying on the floor dead. I would like to throw this out there. I don't know why, but some of the automobiles in this episode, there's something. I reminisced about the old 1990 Ford Escort, the sport version that Johnny drove. That was, I don't know, it just brought back sweet memories of some yesteryear automobiles. In fact, I think Bob Brooks rolls a pretty awesome Ford LTD, and I thought that was pretty righteous and needed to mention that as well. Johnny arrives at Ed's house, and what happens, Jason, when he arrives?
Oh, man. Again, you're a cop, bro. He runs in, and of course, he grabs the gun. But at least he does it with... He's using smarts. Yeah, he's got a towel or a t-shirt or something he grabs the gun with. He doesn't like go in there and like rub his fingers all over it and like stick his fingers all over the dead body and get blood everywhere. No, this guy, at least he's simple.
Well, and the cops end up coming out of nowhere, and they bust in as he's picking up the gun with that rag. And I just stated, where did they come from? And we find out later in the episode that the killer called 911 after they had killed Ed. So we cut to some Major League Baseball action as Ben and Conrad are playing ball in the front yard. And there's a little bit of baseball trivia being thrown about. And I don't know. I mean, I know he's an elderly man, but damn it, Andy Griffith, you have the weakest throw that I've seen in a long, long time. And I'm no baseball expert, but it looked like John, it was pretty weak.
That is not even the highlight of this scene. I can't get the picture to pull up to share it on the screen, but I'm just going to share this photo real quick of what Conrad is wearing. That's rough, man. Like, that is rough. Dude, you look like a dork. Like, Urkel is cooler than that. Like, just calm down, because this outfit, I had to text John this. I'm like, dude, like, this is, who wears a shirt like that tucked in with a big ass belt buckle. And what is that hat? It doesn't match anything.
No, it looks like he got dressed in a dark closet.
I never played catch with my dad. Maybe I'm just mad that I didn't get to play catch and they're sitting there playing catch. Do older people play catch with each other, random spit baseball facts?
I don't know, but
I go to John's house and throw the ball with him? Like, will that cheer John up?
Here's my thing is I want to be in the wardrobe department when when Conrad McMasters gets fitted for this outfit. You know what I mean? When he gets fitted, I want to hear the conversation that's had between Clarence, and I called him Conrad, didn't I? I meant to say Clarence and the wardrobe people. Like, I want to hear him. I'm not wearing that. Yes, you have to. What? Like, there's no way Clarence Gilliard said, oh yeah, I want a hot pink neon t-shirt. I want dad jeans. I wanted the belt buckle. I want a hat that looks like I stole it from a kid in the 1940s. That's what I want.
Justin's like, why are we shaming somebody for a pink shirt? It's not the pink shirt we're shaming. It's the whole get up. Like the whole
thing
outfit together. It's just, it's not good. And I don't feel like Conrad would wear that outfit. Like I just feel like he's cooler than that.
I think like he's always the jeans, t-shirt, blazer guy, that he wouldn't go to that as his like recreational clothes. I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Bob Brooks shows up at the house and he asks Ben to take the Bauer case. And Ben doesn't really want to do it, but he reluctantly takes the case. Now, my question is, why doesn't he want it? Like, he didn't give a real good answer. He's like, I don't want to have it. Like, couldn't the writers come up with some other thing? Like,
the cop can't afford the 6-figure salary that Ben charges.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, who's going to fork over this money?
That's why I'm saying. That's why he didn't want it. He didn't want to be involved.
Oh, okay. You can't pay the money. So Bob and Conrad end up throwing the baseball around. I'm glad that baseball takes center stage here on this episode. But we go to police headquarters, and Bauer's gun was the murder weapon. And Bauer claims that, man, look, I'm clean. I was not involved in these last couple of hijinks. I was trying to get out of it. I was trying to get out of the unit. I put in to get transferred, but I couldn't get out. And Ben says, look, your career's in jeopardy, man. You may never be a cop again, but, I'll take the case. I'll see what I can do. And so the dirty cops, they knew about the meeting. They knew about, because Bauer said it right in front of all of them. So the big question as Ben shows up at Ed's house that he has for Bob Brooks is there was a second shot. The neighbors heard 2 shots, but there's only 1 bullet, and that bullet's in the chest of Ed. And so the other interesting fact is that Ed kept his gun in his desk. Why didn't he go and get the gun? Because he knew the person that entered the room. That leads us to a very interesting couple of clues. Wouldn't you say so, Jason?
Yeah, but I've got a lot of questions about this gun. Wouldn't the cops check to see if it had been fired? Because wouldn't it be suspicious if there's no fingerprints on it?
Right, and we're going to talk about how the cleanliness of the gun, too, is going to play into this whole set of evidence here. But you're right. You would think you would test that for that gunshot residue. Harlan, excuse me. The dirty cops meet again. Excuse me, I jumped ahead in my notes. The dirty cops meet again at the same trashy bar when Ben interrupts, and he kind of gives them the lowdown. And Harlan's wife shows up, and Ben states that they're never going to be cops again, and you're going to constantly be looking over your shoulders because of what you've all done. And I'm going to be honest with you, I had a major brain fart. When he says that, I'm like, looking over the shoulders. Oh, for the criminals that they're in business with. I get it. But for a few seconds, I'm like, huh? What?
Man, every TV cop in the 90s was crooked.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I think this is the obligatory crooked cops, like, story, like every show had, like every drama had that was a police drama, whether it was Hill Street Blues or it was Law and Order or if it was whatever. I think they all had that storyline, and this is Ben's opportunity to have this. Ben's, I keep calling people their character name, Andy's example of having his, cop show feel, dirty cop show feel, if you will.
Except for Andy Sipowicz, he was a great cop.
Well, okay.
He was a good cop, not a great person, but a good cop.
Well, okay, we'll go with that. Ben argues with the valet regarding parking. $3! But Ben won't complain too much because he finds out the parking tickets are kept for 60 days. So at the police headquarters, Pierce is interviewed by Ben in the parking lot. And the parking ticket shows that Pierce left before the others. And Pierce just says, "Too bad, man. I'm not answering your question," and just gets in his car and leaves. We have some more baseball with Ben and Conrad in the front yard. Ben then gets a call to meet with dirty cops, and Conrad decides to go with him, and it's a good thing he did. So they go to this bakery around the back. These two dudes are dumping day-old bread and day-old donuts and whatnot into the dumpster. And then some thugs showed up who had to be, by the way, the most stereotypical drug-dealing thugs that every single cop show had on their episodes. Because these guys, oh my gosh. They had wild clothes, and one guy had quite a mullet and the goatee and the whole 9 yards. Jason, what were you going to say?
I said I'll wait because it's after the cops show up.
Okay. So anyways, they want money. The thugs are like, "We want our money." And Conrad and Ben are like, "We don't know what you're talking about." And so then the cops show up, and they bust up what basically is a drug deal that unfortunately Ben and Conrad got suckered into going to. And there's a firefight. Ben and Conrad have to dive into the dumpsters. And then our next scene is Ben, who is absolutely filthy due to the jelly donuts. He goes to the bar where the dirty cops are. He confronts them about being in the midst of a drug dealer shootout. And Ben dumps some mysterious stuff on them. All right, what do you got for me?
So, Ben, see, this proves my point about Conrad. Even getting out of the dumpster, he is clean. Like, nobody who's that smooth in a dumpster is going to wear that outfit. That's all I'm saying. Like that, the two just don't mesh well together. He gets out of that dumpster looking like $1 million. Ben gets out looking like he just got in a fight with a jar of spaghetti sauce and lost.
Do we have any comments, Justin, that we need to address? No comments? All right, just was checking in. All right, well, so by the way, as Ben is leaving that bar, the camera catches that indeed Conrad McMasters is there, and he overhears Pierce talking on the phone. And I wrote down, did they put a hit on Ben? Because I really thought that might be something that these dirty cops might be able to, make it look like an accident, if you will, air quotes, with Ben's death. Spoiler alert, that will not happen. I love the cool 80s music, by the way, as Conrad watches Pierce meet with a dude, and they go in, they meet on the street, and then they go back behind this building, and then Pierce comes out, gets in his car, and the other guy comes out like with blood, like he got a busted nose and lip and all that jazz. And my question was, why does Pierce beat him up? So Bob takes Pierce at police headquarters. This happens at police headquarters in the hallway. Bob takes Pierce into a room in which Mr. Chan is the guy who got beat up by Pierce, and Ben are waiting on him. And basically, Chan is an informant, and that's the alibi that Pierce gives. But Bob says that's not true. That Chan is one of the people that receives the drugs and cash that you don't turn into evidence. And so Chan has flipped on Pierce, and Bob and Ben kind of squeeze Pierce to get some information. And basically, Pierce decides that he's going to go meet with Harlan, all right, in Harlan's home. And they kind of get into a little bit of an argument, but basically it's revealed that Charlie left the bar right after Pierce, that Harlan was the only one that stayed behind. So we go to the courtroom, Jason. Charlie's on the stand. Ben reviews the facts. Half of the money and drugs are never put into evidence lockup. Charlie left the bar early and he walked to Ed's. Harlan has it all on tape, admitting to Charlie leaving because Pierce was wearing a wire. But then we get a twist. Are you ready for this? I didn't see this coming. I don't know if you did. Charlie admits to leaving early. He had a date. Who was his date? Eileen Fondy, Harlan's wife.
Yeah, the partner's wife, man. I mean, how many times have we seen that in 90s cop shows, too?
And it gets more salacious than that because Charlie says they drove a couple blocks over and had some fun, if you know what
How
I'm
does
saying.
that happen, though? Wouldn't the partners be pretty much busy at the same time? Wouldn't they be home at the same time? Like, I understand if the wife was having an affair with somebody else that worked in the department, but wouldn't they have the same schedules, the husband and the partner?
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe, Pierce maybe worked afternoon turn and the other cops, maybe Bauer worked the morning shift. I don't know. There's different shifts, I'm sure, at a police station. Again, we don't know, but we'd like to know. Jason, tell these fine folks one more time how they can get in touch with us.
It's BENMATTALK@gmail.com.
And of course, you can also find us on Facebook at Mattalk Podcast and drop us a line over there as well. Or if you see us out and about in some of those Matlock forums, tell us what you think about the show. All right.
Yeah, so they're leaving the courtroom. I'm going to take over for John. And they get into a little tussle, the two partners, and Ben notices the one guy's arm is bleeding.
Yeah. And so Ben ends up meeting with Mrs. Tobias, Ed's widow. She claims that Ed had checked the gun right as she was leaving. He had said, "Hey, honey, I got business to take care of. Would you take our son Randy and go to the theater?" And basically, Ed was very upset with his son because his son apparently took the gun to the firing range, and he used it and didn't clean it and just put it back in the drawer. And this was a major, major issue. All right. So to kind of paraphrase, the last time that gun was seen in that drawer, it was dirty. All right. It had been fired. And even though Ed was upset about it, apparently it never got cleaned. Probably we can infer because it happened right after the murder of Ed. Or right before the murder of Ed, I should say. So we go back to the courtroom and Harlan is on stand. And a guy named Red Huntsinger is the alibi for Harlan. Red claims that Harlan left before a rematch because they had played pool earlier and he had whooped up on him. But when Harlan returned about 20 to 30 minutes later, he had an injured arm. And so Ben has this theory that Ed, who was an avid jogger, could run over to Ed's, kill him, and return back to the bar within 20 or 30 minutes. And Ed's gun, basically Ed had shot Harlan in the arm. That was shot number one. And Harlan was shot Ed in the chest. That was shot number two. But the big mistake Harlan made was he took a few minutes to clean the gun. So Harlan, the injury in the arm was the bullet wound that he had removed by a gentleman by the name of Dr. Campbell, I believe, that, hey, man, he stitched him all up, removed the bullet, and that's why it was still bloody the previous scene where he got into fisticuffs with Charlie. And so Harlan refuses to lift up his shirt whatsoever. I'm not doing it. I don't care. And then we cut to the final scene of the episode, which makes me, and I'm holding off on my comments, but this makes me mad, and I'll explain in a minute. We see Conrad and Ben playing more baseball. Some kids from the neighborhood show up. A baseball game breaks out, and one of the kids hits the ball into the windshield of a car, and it's shattered. And that, my friends, is the end of the episode. And now, time for me to rant. What was the result of the trial? What was the result? We don't know. There's no result whatsoever. There's no 1 minute scene.
John.
What?
This whole episode has been a callback to Law and Order. Law and Order does the same thing. You know how it ended. Ben even said it. He said, all I have to do is prove it. You know how it ended. You got to use your imagination. You got to think a little bit on this one. But no, this episode to me felt like a call, kind of a, I don't know. I dug it. I know Law and Order came out after this episode, but it felt very Law and Order-esque because Law and Order does that a lot. It has you fill in the blanks, but you kind of know already who did it. And yeah, I dug this. But anyway, this isn't our closing statements, John. Let's get into that.
All right, let's get on into our closing statements.
This is the part of the podcast where John and I will rate the show on a gavel system. 5 gavels means we absolutely loved it. 1 gavel means we hated it. Negative 35 gavels means we are changing our identities, moving to Texas, where we will become people living on a range, voting for people that we may not want to vote for. John, how did you like this episode?
Well, hold on. I got my man. I got my man Flint here.
As he has a cat on his lap that is not happy that John has him in his lap and trying to attack him.
Flint, I was trying to show. Oh, and Jason has a dog that's not very happy either. Anyways, Flint, I was trying to make you famous, man. Oh, he's not very happy with me. He's not happy with me at all. You know what the amazing part is, real quick, for folks at home. Let me just give you a little bit of inside baseball, so to speak. Earlier today, when I sat in this very chair in front of this very computer, researching guest stars and stuff, somebody, I don't want to mention any names, somebody kept jumping up on this desk and like walking on my keyboard and getting in the way.
He's camera shy, man. He's trying. He knows what's happening. He's being a professional.
Okay. Well, I don't want to tarnish myself because, as you very well know, I am the most professional podcaster. And that was a good one, Justin. That was a good one. All right. Enough of the silliness. Enough with the cats, with the dogs, with the whatnot. Let's get down to it. Jason, you want me to go first with my score?
Yeah.
I give it 4 gavels. I thought it was a good plot. I enjoyed the nice twist of the wife being involved in the affair. I felt like the gun evidence was a little bit difficult to understand, and I'm not even sure that it was explained the best way. And I know you said that Law and Order doesn't give you the result. I get that, but I just am kind of used to Matlock always doing that, of giving you does the jury have a verdict? Yes, we find that a plaintiff not guilty, or the defendant.
I'm kind of glad they spent that time elsewhere, because even Ben said it. He's like, this is reasonable doubt. Like, my guy's innocent. You know it. The jury can decide, or the courts can decide what to do with this guy, which obviously is the one who did it.
How many gavels did you give it?
I give it 4 as well. I liked last week's slightly better, but I liked all the new things we did with this episode. I like the not ambiguity, because we know how it ends. We know the result. I liked everything about this episode. I get that they couldn't do that. Maybe we didn't need that last baseball scene, but they could have done it in that last baseball scene. But I like that they spent a lot of time with these characters at the beginning. I thought, like I said, Tony Todd was really strong in this episode. I'd like to say Titus Welliver was as well, but I have no idea which character he played. But I thought everybody was strong. I like the performances. It loses a little bit because there's no way in hell Conrad is wearing that outfit. And a few other nitpicky things as far as certain things that happen with, like, police just fumbling the evidence. Like, guys, you guys can commit a crime better than this. I'm sorry, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since there's 3 of them. Like, out of the 3 of them, not one person. Never mind. Anyway, Justin says it's pretty fetch, but I don't think Justin actually watched the episode.
No.
Yeah, I give
he
it.
Has watched. He has watched Clueless, apparently, but I mean,
yeah, I give it 4 out of 5. So yeah, guys, check me out on 3 Geeks Podcast. We do our shows live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Lots of stuff happening. I'm trying something new every Sunday at noon. You're going to see a classic 3 Geeks episode for the time being.
Oh, nice. Good deal, man.
Today I dropped the interview we did with David Felding, who was the original Zordon in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
All right, and as for my personal podcasting project, it is called the PVD Cast. It's available at pvdcast.com or wherever you find great podcasts. This week's episode, I sit down with the Cincinnati comic book creator known as Tim Fuller. Tim does some really cool artwork with public domain comics, and he explains all about it. We talk about his newest project called Frogman Funnies. It's got everything that you could want in an episode. It's got robots, zombies, TV guide, weird tales from Cincinnati, the whole ball of wax. So definitely check it out. Again, that's at pvdcast.com or wherever you find great podcasts. Are you ready? I got to go feed a cat apparently or something. He's mad at me. So
I'm going to go hang out with my girlfriend.
All right. Well, with that then, ladies and gentlemen, as they say in court, nothing further.
Ever notice how ads always pop up at the worst moments? When the killer's identity is about to be revealed. During that perfect meditation flow. On Amazon Music, we believe in keeping you in the moment. That's why we've got millions of ad-free podcast episodes, so you can stay completely immersed in every story, every reveal, every breath. Download the Amazon Music app and start listening to your favorite podcasts ad-free, included with Prime.